I was told by Miguel.
Good morning, everyone. Let's get this meeting started. Who wants to lead in the Pledge of Allegiance, Margaret?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the zealous symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Sandy, I'll give you a copy of the state pledge. Let's see.
Oh, I do sometimes remember.
I would like to take this time to go through the agenda. Number 2 is introductions. So I'd like to introduce and welcome back to the PRC, former PRC Commissioner and former State Senator Linda Lovejoy. Welcome. Welcome, former PRC Commissioner Sandy Jones. And I want to say that I have high hopes that we can unite to make progress, and I have confidence that they will join me in my goals to restore public confidence in this institution and its governing body. Reform is the key to projecting a better image that the public deserves. And with that, I'd like to ask Commissioner Lovejoy to say a few words, and then Commissioner.
Are you sure you want me to say a few words? Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners, the Honorable Commissioners, my colleagues, and audience, PRC staff, Chief of Staff, and General Counsel. And I feel very excited about being back to a position I once held. I owe this to the voters who voted for me with their confidence that in sending me back to be their strong advocate, to be their strong voice, to be a strong representative for them in all the issues and the cases and the regulatory matters that I will be making contribution to. I hope that as Madam Chair stated, I too look forward to some new opportunities, some greatness. It's wonderful that I'm back for another memorable time when the PRC has lost one large function, which is the superintendent of insurance. That was a big function when I was here. We also lost, the PRC also lost the corporation, and I'm hoping that we don't show the legislature into the future that we need to lose any more functions of the current PRC. And so as we move forward, I think I'm greatly committed to seeking resolution, seeking solutions, seeking collaboration and teamwork. And most of all, we all have to have a better communication. All 5 commissioners are equal in their status, in their capacity. We all need and should and must have the same information as commissioners all the time, and we must work to higher standards in being professional and being more efficient, do more streamlined things, be more creative, and that's my commitment in coming back to this commission. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Your turn.
Well, I know I've only been allotted an hour, so.
I understand. understand you have 3 minutes now.
No, first of all, it is really nice to be back. It is so nice to see the folks that we used to work with. It's really nice to see the staff of the PRC that used to work here and still work here. And, you know, I'm just really excited to get a chance to see you all again. And everybody's been so very kind to me since I've been back, so I thank all of you. And to all of the attorneys and the industry and the advocacy groups, I really do look forward to this. So we have I think some good times coming in 15 and in forward. But really, I want to introduce, and I look forward to working with the committee. And I think we want to show everybody that it is better. And as somebody said, let's prove those guys wrong. We get some bad press once in a while, and I think we're all committed down to make sure that we do good things. And I'm going to do my part, and I know everybody else here will too. So I look forward to that. But what I really want to do is introduce the persons to be working in my office. I'm really excited, and I don't know if he left. I don't even see him. Oh, there he is. I'm very excited to introduce the person in my office, Mr. Robert Harasuna. Robert brings, he probably ought to be the commissioner. He has just a tremendous amount of experience from FERC. He was a former general counsel right here at the PRC, so I'm really excited for Bob to be here, Robert to be here, and I welcome all of you into my office. It's not quite set up yet, and Madam Chair, I'm done. Thank you all very much for the opportunity to be here.
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, I forgot another important thing, and I forgot to introduce my partner, and he hails from Kayenta, Arizona, and it's Andre Verdera. Andre, stand up. He will be my partner. Andre is bringing to the PRC a wealth of experience, education, and knowledge. He's very strong in administrative management skills. He's very strong in human resources. He's very strong in utility matters, because in his backyard there is a huge coal mining, Black Mesa, Kayenta coal mine, and then just in his back door is also a huge utility generating plant, Nauvoo generating plant. Andre also was Andre came from a position, he was a town manager for Kayenta Township. He did some wonderful things. He has a strong, his business acumen is very strong. Prior to that, he was CEO of Frontier Communications in St. Michael's, and then prior to that, he was one of the key leaders for the former President Joe Shirley. So he brings a wealth of experience to the PRC, and he's very good to get along with. So I'm sure he's already been making his rounds and introducing himself to the staff and key PRC agency personnel. So I really hope that you get to know Andre. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, and welcome to our two new employees. I have a good reputation for conducting elections, so I think that people are always looking for rapid results and accurate. So, you know, this is a hot seat to be sitting in, and I predict it's going to get hotter. And so I want to just say that, you know, I didn't mobilize the troops to gain their support for this position. And with that, I have a request to move public comment to before the election. But I think what I'm going to do is move it to immediately after item number 3. And so we'll move item number 11 to after item number 3, if that's the wishes. No?
No.
Leave it as is?
Yes.
is the wishes of the commission? Would you like to move?
Well, is there any more introductions? I think there may be some new employees here.
Madam Chair, good, Happy New Year to all the commissioners, all the staff. We do have two introductions, one Miguel will make for IT and one Jason Montoya will make for pipeline safety. Miguel?
This is James Varela, who comes to us from the State Land Office. He has over 11 years experience with IT, and we're happy to have him on board.
Thank you all. Thank you, Commissioners.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, good morning. Welcome to 2015. I'm happy to announce the Pipeline Safety Bureau's newest member, Mr. Chris Sanchez. Chris joins us after serving 18 plus years at NMPRC, and will be working in our damage prevention program, which is a much needed program with more resources. So I appreciate Chris's hiring. Thank you.
Okay, then we will proceed with the election, and with very special grace, do we have a nomination for chair?
I guess I could nominate someone. Madam Chair, I guess, first of all, since I'm gonna make a motion here, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your vice chairmanship and the wonderful job you've done here. I know that most people will share my comments that you've done a wonderful job and respect you, and I look forward to working for you in the future, and hope to have you in a position as we go through. I look forward to serving with you. With that, Madam Chair, I would move that and nominate Karen Montoya for chair.
All in favor, say
I
aye.
will second that.
You gotta have some.
Thank you. I told you I was into rapid results. Yes. And a second has been made. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No. All right, do we have a nomination for vice chair?
Madam Chairman, I'll start that again if it's all right, and I would like the women to rule the day. I would nominate the Honorable Linda Lovejoy.
And I would
as
second
vice chair.
that motion gladly. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And with that, I will hand over the infamous gavel to Commissioner Montoya and request that we switch seats. Thank you.
See, we stay right
Yeah,
close
we're
again.
still neighbors.
Just,
I'd like
Madam
to,
Chair, to show my appreciation for this decision.
I have to tell
Thank
you,
you, sir.
the last time I got a standing ovation, they were leaving.
thank you, thank you.
I just want to say, it's really an honor to be voted in as chairman of the commission. It shows that people have the confidence in me to do the right thing, to do a good job. And I'm here to do just that. I have not made and I'm going to put this out here right now, I'm sure everyone in this audience knows. I've been asked to recuse myself on a case, and I am going to fight tooth and nail not to be recused, because I have the honor and the integrity that it takes to make a decision in this case. And the public has put their trust in me to make me a commissioner in District 1, and I will not let them down. And thank you very much. And thank you again for the vote of confidence. Going on with the agenda, miscellaneous announcements, anyone?
Madam Chair, I believe the public comment was going to be considered, and there was no final vote on that.
That's correct. There was no vote to do that, so public comment will be in the.
I mean,
the,
there was no finish of the voting.
Well, there was
no
no
voice.
motion to, there was, sir, there was no motion to move it forward.
Next item,
So,
item 5.
so the item stays.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm sorry, miscellaneous announcements? Okay, consideration and approval of agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
Second.
All in favor? I
Question,
apologize.
Madam Chair?
Please.
There are some agenda items that I request to add. Is this the appropriate time, or should we do it somewhere else on the agenda schedule?
And what is it that we're adding here?
Madam Chair, I have 2 items for sure that I would like to add to our agenda at some point down the schedule. And that is proposing to conduct our business in a little bit different way by making every Wednesday's meeting, such as today, where all case matters come to this meeting, and call it case management meetings. I have copies here.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, I hate to interrupt, I just wanted to let you know, I believe that actually would be appropriate to be addressed in the adoption of the annual open meeting policy. Because the
Annual
policy,
open meeting policy. Okay, all right, I apologize. Thanks for the correction.
Sure.
We'll just go on, Madam Chair, we'll wait for that.
Thank you, and Commissioner, it is next on the agenda, so,
Okay.
consideration and approval of agenda has been, first and seconded, so all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we'll go policy matters, adoption of annual open meeting policy and notice for 2015. And Commissioner Lovejoy has handed an agenda for case management meeting. Would you like to explain further, Commissioner Lovejoy, what this all entails?
Well, if you would let me do the second, add the second item, I will explain both, Madam Chair.
Absolutely.
And the second item that will complete this is to add one extra meeting sometime during the month. Could be a Thursday, the first Thursday or the last Thursday of the month. Preferably a day after our case management meeting. And that will be called administrative management. It should be a round table meeting. So let me explain both. Case management meeting, and this is leading to how could this commission operate business more efficiently and help move some of the most important cases that we deal with in an expedited manner. And I think this might lead to that. This might be an answer to leading to more efficiency. And so the case management meeting would entail bringing all matters related to various cases, utility cases, transportation cases, pipeline, whatever it may be. These are just simply and purely just cases that we will take action on or discuss or go into executive session. So that's what the Wednesday's meeting will be about. One, we will add legislative issues because of the session coming up. We will add legislative issues, legislative update reports. And so that is what the case management will be about, just simply conducting the very core of business that we should be conducting. The administrative management meeting, roundtable meeting, is simply to dedicate one day per month, just one day, not weekly, but just one day meeting per month. Dedicate that to having our staff, our key staff, chief of staff, chief counsel, transportation, utility, legal, fire marshal, transportation, administrative services division, consumer division, have them bring to us update reports on progress. What are they doing in their respective divisions? What are some issues that they're dealing with and how are they resolving them? What are some budgetary issues? What are some, how are goals and objectives being achieved? And where are we at every month in order to get, complete our target goals from the first month to the 12th month? So we can be able to extract that information and be able to tell our legislative body, our legislative finance committee, who is in charge of appropriations. Here's our record. Here's our record of accomplishments. And so this is what the administrative management roundtable meeting will be about, Madam Chair. And I think this will really turn a lot of unnecessary time and turn it into a very productive time for this commission. And that is my items that I'm bringing to the commissioners.
So you would like to add this to the adoption of the annual
yes.
open meeting policy?
Yes, yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. And with that, do we have any more discussion?
Madam Chair, if I may, Commissioner Lovejoy, basically, you're talking about a business meeting.
Case management meeting will be totally business that we have to conduct, take action, make decisions on all the case matters that come to this meeting, and administrative will be administrative management matters.
Any other questions from any commissioners?
I'd like to make a motion that we put this in, I guess it'd be under A, regular open meeting. We have listed Wednesday, put this in there. Where Mike thinks the appropriate spot is for a case management meeting and an administrative business meeting. You wanna do it the last Thursday of each month? Is that what you're thinking?
It's up to the commission. I think that would be, if we can decide one day, and when is that day, I'm just suggesting possibly the last Thursday of each month.
Okay. I'll make that motion, we amend the open meeting policy to put this in there under, I guess it'd be special meetings. Include these two the last Thursday of each month, starting at 9 a.m. We have both of them on the same day, I would say. And then when one gets done, then I can go into the next one.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Lyons, we must retain having our regular meetings like today, but make it into a case management meeting
Right.
every Wednesday.
Oh, every Wednesday?
Yes, case management meeting every Wednesday. Just the way it's been going, but just change it to case management meetings, and then have one day for possibly the last Thursday of each month.
So you
Just
want-
dedicate it to administrative management roundtable meeting.
So you want to change on our agenda here, not below the Mexico Public Relations Commission, said regular open meeting, you want to take out regular open meeting and put in case management
Yes,
meeting?
yes. Yes.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, I just want to make sure if I'm understanding this correctly. I think what I would be doing would be putting it under the regular open meetings and basically creating two forms of regular open meeting, a case management meeting and the administrative management roundtable meeting. One would be conducted on the normal Wednesdays that the Commission's current regular open meetings have been conducted, and the other, the new administrative management roundtable meeting would be conducted on the third Thursday of each month.
Or the last Thursday.
Or the last Thursday, depending on what the Commission's wishes are. I just want to make sure, in terms of where I'm gonna put it in the revised open meeting policy.
Third Thursday or the last Thursday of each month.
Madam Chair, if I may, it's just, what it does is creates one additional meeting per month.
Yes.
And either on the third Thursday
So-
or the fourth Thursday.
So I'll clarify, the case management meeting will be Wednesday at 9:30 normal time. And then the administrative management meeting agenda will be either the third or the fourth Thursday of the month, whichever the pleasure of the commission is.
I don't understand. But I
So-
didn't get to finish with you guys. to go
So the case management meeting is a similar meeting to the one we have now, with the exception of.
And this is gonna be an outline of the agenda,
Right,
so there's no public comment in
yeah, there is, there's, on number 6, it says discussion of cases and regular action, public comments.
there. So you can put all that into one? Consent action, regular action, public comment, all into one?
Discussion of case. Not necessarily, or should we break that line out? Discussion of cases, and then separation, regular action, and then one more line for public comment?
You're asking me,
No,
I'm still trying to go back to
I'm
my original
asking.
question, so you wanna change, instead of having a regular meeting at the top, you wanna put case management on our agenda
Right.
today.
And what it looks like is we have a case management meeting, and then we have a separate administrative meeting on a separate day.
Yeah, 'cause this is totally different administrative. I mean, this is set last Thursday of each month, it seems like that's okay, everybody, business meeting, administrative meeting. Last Thursday each month, so the case management meeting, which we handle cases on regular open meeting, we wanna change the regular open meeting title to case management meeting.
Sure.
And I'd like, if you're gonna do that, that's fine, but I'd like to keep the same agenda, or the same way we have the agenda set up. Doesn't roll everything into 1 and 6.
Oh, I see, you wanna separate discussion of
And
cases and regular
miscellaneous
action.
announcements, that would be in 9, miscellaneous announcements may be, you know, today we have number 4 on the agenda, we may need to know what the announcement is prior to the whole meeting, because someone might need to leave to go testify in a committee and to legislature or do something. So I like the platform or the way it's set up on our one, but you can change the title on the top, that's fine.
Madam Chair, the only change would be on the agenda, then it moved miscellaneous announcements from 4 to 8. That's really the only change in the agenda, isn't it?
Well, you got number 6 all being 1, rather than breaking it out into different numbers.
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
That should be good.
the whole purpose is to make the best of our time. Public comment, in my view, has to be related to the cases. It can't just be a public comment about, it should not, public comment should not be about harnessing issues out of a clear blue sky. It should be related to the cases at hand. Miscellaneous announcements is for our purpose, to announce important matters. So this was designed, the proposal before you is designed to make the best use of our time, to be productive, to get things done. And find minimize time that, discussions that are really not relevant to our business. And that's how the agenda items, the two agenda items are designed for, is to operate as productive as possible, as efficient as possible, as professional as possible.
Well, I'd like to keep 12, 13, 14, communication with general counsel, communication with chief of staff, communication with commissioners. That's eliminated off the new form I can have in their hand, those three. So,
Madam Chair, Commissioner Lyons, communications is here. It's in here.
we're gonna do once a month?
I believe if we start operating this way, and keeping administrative, PRC, agency, update reports separate from case management meetings, I think, we're gonna find out it's gonna have a great value. We will find out it will serve a great value.
I don't know if we can wait a month on things. Sometimes you have to handle communication with commissioners, general counsel, especially general counsel and chief of staff.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Lovejoy, I think I understand Mr. Lyons' point under the communications with general counsel, communications with chief of staff, and communications with commissioners. Some of those things may be time sensitive to things that happen during that week. I think we encourage the administrative stuff to get to the business meeting, but as an example, if you have communications with commissioners, let's say today, we certainly have hearings going on. There may be something sensitive to today's hearing that we may want to bring forth publicly, that, such as an example, it's come to my attention at today's hearing, XYZ happened, and commissioners, I would like us to consider placing a portion of the hearing on the next regular meeting. In other words, it could be something that's time sensitive that I guess I see a value in leaving those on the case management meeting agenda, and then would just ask us not to abuse them with other things. But I think I'm gonna agree with Commissioner Lyons on that, leaving those items on. For instance, the general counsel may have something that's of immediate importance that needs to be brought up publicly, rather than, trying to discuss with individual commissioners, and then, so that we don't get in a rolling quorum type situation. So, I think maybe that does need to stay in there. That's my opinion.
If I may make a suggestion, should we put, something to the effect that, maybe only is needed or?
Madam Chair, that would be that's a very good suggestion. I'm willing to include those back in there and put, only if needed, or only if required or needed.
Only if required.
And I would like to remind the commissioners, we cannot abuse any communications, must be relevant to productivity, and not leave it for public unnecessary discussion.
So with that, we have a motion to adopt with the amendments.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second, but can we clarify can we go down the agenda items then, so we're sure on the case
So
management? One
the
is
case,
pledge.
the case management would be, what is on the sheet, but adding 12, 13, and 14 from the original agenda to this agenda before adjournment, which is communications with General Counsel Michael Smith, communications with Chief of Staff Vince Martinez, and communications with commissioners only if required.
Madam Chair, what you're leaving out, if you are correct in what you're saying, is item 11 also, which is public comment.
Public comment is on number 6.
We're not gonna change the agenda as is, we're just going to,
Well, the motion was to amend the agenda to what the case management meeting agenda shows, with the addition of 12, 13, and 14, and only as required.
And I
And
think
that has been.
I think I can clarify that. Number 10 would be, communications with council. Number 11 would be, communications with staff or the, chief of staff. Number 12 would be communications with commissioners. And then number 13 would be adjournment. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we have a motion and we have a second? Do we have a second? Or-
Yeah, I second it with some
Okay.
discussion. And then, one more question on item 6 is, are we talking about moving public comment to, as the case comes up, have a sub-public comment as the case comes up? Is that how we're doing it, or are we doing it like we're doing it now, where we have a public comment, session, that is, completely separate from the cases? I wasn't quite clear on that, Commissioner Rocco. Is that what you want, so that they can comment on the case as we got to it? Is that what you're thinking?
Chair Commissioner Jones, as I recall from past experience, public comment must be relevant to what's on the agenda. We did the public comment first day on Monday, and it was relevant to the case hearing. Public comments here must be relevant to agenda items. That's the way I understand public comment, unless things have changed over time. Is public comment something other than what I understand?
Madam Chair, it is. Public comment is to serve the constituent base, and should they have issues, they need to speak out and be heard, and so it's part of the freedom of speech process. So I don't think that it would be in the best interest of this governing body to limit that portion of public comment. I think that it should be its own agenda item, or not agenda item, but its own period in which it's on the agenda, out of respect for, the positions we hold and the people that elect us. They need to come forth, and we have to have an open door for them to speak, whether it's relevant to the cases on that particular day. Thank you.
Madam Chair, Commissioner,
Madam
so does that mean I have to have somebody arrange for a busload of my constituents? If they disagree with what I'm doing, they bring a busload of people from out from the hinterlands, and they come here and express their public comment. And so therefore, I'm not being an effective elected official. So I guess I really don't understand the nature of public comment as it has been used. Public comment is for the purpose of the public coming to a meeting specifically for what's on the agenda items.
Madam Chair, if I may, that has been in any governing body that I have watched, city council, county commission, normally people, once a case is brought up, they have a portion of public comment so that they can comment on the cases and the business of the commission. And so I understand fully and agree with you, Madam Commissioner. Commissioner Lyons?
Thank you. So the motion was to adopt the open meeting policy with these changes, is that correct?
In a second.
Okay. If you look on page 10 of the new open meeting policy, the red line version, it says public comment will be scheduled as the first agenda item of each meeting. So, I read that as that comes before the Pledge of Allegiance. Is that, am I wrong? As you see there, Rule 6, second paragraph, public comment shall be the first agenda item of each meeting. Then on the second page of that, on the red line version, the subject matter of the public, you talking about different subject matter, the subject matter of the public comments will be relevant to matters within the commission's jurisdiction. Public comment will not be permitted on matters that should be addressed appropriately as a subject or informal or formal complaint before the commission or a pending rule-making proceeding before the commission once the opportunity for public comment in those proceedings is closed, which makes sense. There's a little bit more there. So this is where we're addressing the subject of the public comment. On the second paragraph, first line address where it's going to be on the agenda item. I want to amend that. I don't want it to be the first item. I don't think it should be the first agenda item. We need to amend this, and I want to keep it in the same format it is, where it comes as today, number 11, public comment. Right before communications with everybody else. And I'd like to keep miscellaneous announcements at number 4 in case you need an announcement earlier if we have to do something.
So, we have a
Okay,
motion.
leave it back there. Miscellaneous time, if you're
Right.
not complaining about that one, don't.
No, all I'm saying is we have a motion on the floor to do something else. Do we have an amendment or?
Madam Chair, for clarification, I think we'd be violating the Open Meeting Act if we don't seek input from our general counsel on this entire issue. Would you please?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, just basically with regard to the provision of public comment, the Open Meeting Act does not require the Commission to offer an opportunity for public comment. It has been the long-standing policy of this Commission, however, to provide an opportunity for the public to provide their input. The case law that I've examined on public comment basically says that once a commission or public body basically decides that it's going to provide the opportunity for public comment, First Amendment protection issues basically are implicated at that point, and it becomes a limited public forum, and the commission cannot act to restrict the content of speech other than reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. The case law basically indicates that.
So,
and it,
may I clarify
Sure.
real quick? So what you have here as far as, what Commissioner Lyons pointed out, that it would have to be relevant to the cases, is correct or not correct?
Madam Chair, actually mine, what I have inserted in as an amendment to the public, or rather the open meetings policy, was that the subject matter of the public comment should be relevant to matters within the commission's jurisdiction. That the commission doesn't have to listen to things about matters going on, in other countries or things like that. But we can't restrict the public from speaking to matters that are within this commission's jurisdiction, that are relevant to the business of the commission.
Okay, so,
Madam Chair?
So we have a motion, right now on the floor, and a second, to amend the agenda.
Madam Chair?
And,
Madam Chair, to adopt addition, the two additional items, as amended.
okay, so we have a first and a second to adopt all, or the two items, administrative management meeting agenda and case management meeting, first and second as amended, all in favor?
Actually, did you forget that I asked for the vote before you take the vote?
All in favor?
Okay. Well, Madam Chair, I may have some more.
You have some more, okay, so I'm gonna go with Commissioner
Well,
Espinosa
thank you
first.
for the opportunity. Here's what the law requires. The Open Meetings Act does not guarantee citizens the right to speak at public meetings, as you said, Michael Smith. However, most public bodies in New Mexico do include time for public comment. When a forum is made available for public speech, citizens have a First Amendment right to speak freely. Public bodies risk running afoul of the First Amendment if they attempt to regulate citizen speech based on its content, or the identity of the speaker. So, to remove this item or segregate it or prohibit it, it is not my wish. Thank you.
Commissioner Jones.
Madam Chair, I think that what we do, I don't think any of us up here wants to limit, not to allow public comment. I mean, we all know who we work for here. I think we're into the devil's in the details, so we want to make sure, at least I want to make sure that we ensure that the public has the ability to comment, that, we hope that they're respectful to the commission. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, but that's just part of the game. So if we, so my question is on the public comment, I think you may echo what Mr. Lyons is saying is it at the end? Is it as a case is called? In other words, is it segregated to a certain part, or is it as each case is called? That, I think, is something that I'd just like to make sure I understand before I vote on it.
So could you clarify that, Commissioner?
Can I get interrupt?
Madam Chair, first of all, I believe we should be respectful and keep a very organized meeting. I'm observing that we're all just injecting our comments before the person is finished having their input. I'm willing to, after all of your comments, I'm willing to place public comment and maybe turn that into, make it 7 and move everything down. But public comment, and I think we're getting to the meetings policy, public comment must be relevant, as our general counsel said, it must be pertinent to the meeting agenda at hand, or must be relevant and respectful, and it must not be abused, or should not be abused.
So may I make a suggestion? Let's add public comment to number 10 and move communications with general counsel to 11, communications with chief of staff to 12, and communications with commissioners to 13, and adjournment to 14. Is that acceptable, an acceptable amendment to the amendment?
If that's in the form of a motion, it's,
Okay.
You have a motion on the floor. I'd like to ask for division of the question.
I think, that's what I think what we did. I think that was an amendment to the motion.
Well, my division of the question is, I think this administrative management business meeting, she has a great idea here. I want to take a vote on this to make that the last Thursday of each month to get this out of the way. Now, while I'm asking the division of the question, next one will be the case management. I believe this is a great idea. I want to vote on this and get it passed, so we don't have it confused with everything else. So I'll make that motion that we include administrative business management meeting the last Thursday of each month, starting at 9:30.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
So did we divide the question, or did we vote on the case, on the administrative meeting?
We divided the question.
There you go. So I would move that we adopt the administrative management meeting as discussed.
You move what?
I'm moving the the administrative meeting to be the fourth Thursday of the month.
At 9:30?
In accordance with the division of the question.
Second.
At 9:30?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm second that too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so case
We got one
management. So case management meeting, at this point, we are, on an amendment to the amended agenda, which is, amending the case management agenda to, appear as the case management agenda sheet is on here, which will go one by one. Pledge of Allegiance state pledge would be one. Introductions of special guests would be two. Consideration and approval of agenda 3. Consideration and approval of minutes 4. Consent action 5. Discussion of case and regular action 6. Executive session.
No, you said you were gonna put public comment.
No,
No, she moved it to 11.
executive session only if required. Legislative issues only during session. Then we have miscellaneous announcements. Then we'll have public comment. Then we'll have communications with general counsel, communications with chief of staff, communications with commissioners, and adjournment.
Motion to accept, Madam Chair.
Will we need to amend what's in the Open Meetings Act, or are you just gonna put this amendment in there? Okay.
So this will be, those two will be added to, the Open Meetings Act. So we'll vote on this separate and then vote on the Open Meetings Act to adopt the agendas with the Open Meetings Act. But, this is a separate vote. So case management meeting agenda, we have a motion on the floor, and I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we will go to, the next item, which is our actual adoption of open meeting policy.
Madam Chairman?
Yes.
And this I would direct to General Counsel. Now that we have these agendas set, do we need to amend anything in the red line to accept those, or are we okay?
Madam Chair, Commissioner, what I was anticipating I would do is I would change subsection A, which is the regular open meetings, to identify the two forms of open meeting that have been adopted here today as the forms of regular open meeting, and I would insert the agenda that has been adopted here today within the body of this annual open meeting policy.
And you can make those revisions and just forward them to them
That's right.
on an affirmative vote from us.
Yes.
We'd incorporate them, and then if there's any, anticipating there'd be no problems with that, we would be all right. If we encounter a problem, we could address that. I think that if that's acceptable with you, it's certainly acceptable.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, I think that would be perfectly fine. That's usually the way we handle these kinds of things.
Mr. Smith, I'd like to ask you to go over the amendments that we have in the Open Meeting Act right now, so that we
Just fine. Madam Chair, Commissioners, on page 2, prior to paragraph A, I did make a change in the sentence that says that any party to a proceeding that will be discussed at the commission meeting can also attend the meeting telephonically, and I changed that to a proceeding that is identified on the agenda for a commission meeting, just to be consistent with what the actual policy is in terms of that discussion should be limited to items that are on the agenda.
Interested parties, or parties.
It's a party, a formal party to a proceeding.
Formal party to a proceeding.
I changed the name of the staff member in our office to whom email requests for attending telephonically should be sent from Anna Kippenbrock to Irma Corral. Flipping the page, page 3, I had been requested, the issue of the administrative hearings was brought to my attention previously, and I made a sort of an aborted attempt to insert something about that to my attentions. But that is addressed, I believe, by the vote that was already taken. Page 4, I removed, because we're having more substantive discussion at the end of this document, I removed the single line that addressed public comment previously. And it's the one that says, public comment by an individual or entity shall be limited to 10 minutes unless the commission acts to extend the period. And that, as I said, that will be addressed later in the document. I clarified in the following sentence after that, that items may be placed on the agenda for a regular open meeting only at the request of the individual commissioner, PRC General Counsel, or Chief of Staff. I think at the end of B on page 7, that's a result, I apologize, that's a result I moved that originally, and so that you're seeing the same deletion twice regarding public comment. The substantive change to the public comment section was added as section 6.
What page are you on?
I'm sorry, page 11. Actually, I may show us page 10 on yours. Basically, what I inserted was a general statement that the commission values and encourages public input on pertinent issues subject to the to the jurisdiction of the commission. In order to ensure commission meetings are efficient and productive, individuals providing public comment shall do so following to the subject to the following provisions. The first provision provides that public comment will be scheduled as the first agenda item. That will have to be changed in accordance with the vote that was just taken. All members of the public wishing to provide public comment must sign a sign-up sheet prior to the start of the meeting and identify their name and the name of the organization they represent, if any, and the topic or issue on which they desire to comment. I did want to just, as a preface, I wanted to say that in drafting this, I looked at the New Mexico Foundation for Open Government's comments on public comment. I looked at the public comment policies that have been adopted by various state and city agencies and county agencies in New Mexico, and I basically just tried to amalgamate those into a hybrid that would address the issues for this commission, and obviously taking out things that weren't pertinent to this commission. And also as well, obviously, the law that applies to this. The use of the sign-up sheet, I think we just had an example of yesterday, or the other day, Monday, starting Monday, where public comment was given in connection with the PNM matter down in Dr. Hall, and the use of a sign-up sheet was used in that instance. So this is actually not a new provision with regard to giving public comment before the commission. It's just that it's, for the first time, it's being applied to the commission's regular open meetings rather than the larger public comment. A lot of times, it may not actually come into play in terms of being able to identify and control how public comment is given, because we generally don't have as many public commenters as we do in those large proceedings. Related to that, the following sentence provides that the portion of the agenda allocated for public comment at any one open meeting shall be limited to a maximum of 30 minutes for all persons wishing to provide public comment. That obviously is subject to the commission's discretion, but basically, again, that's intended to be consistent with the effort to make sure that our meetings are efficient and productive and don't become overwhelmed by public comment. The order of speakers will be based on the order in which speakers sign up, but public officials may be taken out of order. If a speaker is not present at the time he or she is called to provide comment, that speaker shall forfeit their opportunity to speak. Public comment by an individual or entity shall be limited to no more than 3 minutes unless the commission acts to extend the period. The 3-minute period, again, is consistent with the amount of time we usually give during our public comment in various proceedings, rulemakings, and those sorts of things. It's also consistent with what the New Mexico Foundation for Open Government provides. And it's also consistent with a lot of other state agencies and public bodies provide. Some actually provide less. If the number of individuals on the sign-up sheet desiring to provide comment would exceed the allotted 30-minute period, the chairman may limit individual remarks to a shorter time period. Individuals represented by or representing a common organization or association may be asked to select one individual to act as a spokesperson to speak for the group. Individuals who sign up to comment but either fail to do so or choose to speak for less than their allotted time may not cede or yield their time to another speaker. Again, that is an issue that has come up before the commission previously. This is consistent, again, with the sources that I relied on in drafting this. Written comments of individuals who cannot be physically present may not be read aloud at the meeting, but may be submitted to the commission. The next paragraph provides that the subject matter of public comment shall be relevant to matters within the commission's jurisdiction. Public comment will not be permitted on matters that should be addressed appropriately as the subject of an informal or formal complaint before the commission, or on pending rulemaking proceedings before the commission, once the opportunity for public comment in those proceedings has closed. And again, that is consistent with the ex parte provisions that this commission acts subject to. It's intended to ensure that persons who have failed to give public comment in connection with the rulemaking according to law, or in connection with a pending proceeding, don't try and get around the law and basically subject the commission to an ex parte communication. Public comment by parties to a proceeding or adjudication pending before the commission will not be permitted where where the comment concerns matters at issue in such proceeding. Again, that's related specifically to a pending adjudication, even if, unlike a rulemaking, the opportunity for public comment hasn't ceased. The chairman shall retain the right to stop any speaker who raises an issue that is not under the commission's jurisdiction or is subject to the restrictions above. The following paragraph provides, and this is intended to ensure that the decorum of the commission is adhered to. Speakers providing comment shall at all times conduct themselves in accordance with proper decorum. Profane or vulgar language or gestures will not be tolerated. Audience members shall not disrupt an open meeting by speaking without being recognized by the commission and shall not incite others to do so. The commission retains the right to remove disruptive attendees and individuals who fail to conduct themselves in accordance with these provisions from the commission meeting. The following paragraph provides that public comment will be received without commission comment or response. However, individual commissioners may at their option seek clarification or additional information from speakers through the chairman. No speakers will be accommodated after the public comment portion of the agenda has closed. The chairman retains the right to exercise discretion in the implementation of this policy and may override the above rules in the case of emergency or other unforeseen circumstances. I believe that this policy that I've provided you, this draft policy, would address most of the concerns that are really implicit in trying to run this meeting in an organized fashion without letting things get out of control, and at the same time still pay respect to the First Amendment rights of the public commenters.
Is there any discussion?
Just one clarifying question, Madam Chair. Written comment is acceptable at any time. In other words, doesn't necessarily have to be read aloud, although it could be by the chair or someone at the meeting, is that correct? But I mean, if we're out of time and someone feels, you know, like they really do wanna add something, I mean, the written comment is acceptable at any time as a matter. Correct?
Madam Chair, Commissioner, that would be correct, subject obviously to the restrictions that, the other restrictions.
It's not
that-
ex parte.
Right.
Any other questions?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes.
You mentioned, I don't have, I have the original, not the one that has the stripes or the additions to it. You mentioned something about the chief of staff, and or, was it general counsel, is at least 4 comments ago, and I can't find it. So,
Is that on the agenda?
that it, yeah, it had to go through the approval of the chief of staff.
No, I think it was who could put agenda items on the.
Oh, okay, so I thought you meant that the public had to seek permission, is that, okay.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, actually, that is correct. The public does not put matters on the agenda.
No, but to speak.
Oh, no, that
Before us.
doesn't relate to public comment.
Yeah, okay, I thought you wanted them to seek permission from the chief of staff or
No.
general counsel to
Madam Chair, Commissioner, I'm sorry.
approach.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, no, that's actually, I didn't really revise that very much. That's been a long-standing policy in there. I just wanted to emphasize that it's only through those 3. And it's not just that these are 3 means that that's the intention there. It's intended to control what actually appears on the agenda that the commission votes on for each meeting.
Thank you, sir. Was it your idea to limit the public comments from 10 minutes to 3, or was it at the request of the commission?
Madam Chair, Commissioner, there have been a lot of requests brought to me over the last year and a half or so about trying to get public comment under control. And I looked at the amount of time that most state agencies and city agents.
I know, but my question was, was it a particular commissioner, or was it your choice to change your the agenda
The
from
3
10 minutes to 3?
Madam Chair, Commissioner, the 3 minutes, again, was my choice based on what I saw other state bodies using.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No more questions.
Any other questions?
Motion for adoption.
Motion for adoption.
I'll second it, and with just a comment, I think that, you know, I think all of us are concerned about public comment. It needs to happen. You know, I think it's an acceptable method. If this doesn't work, it's not accommodating the public, then I think that sometime we can address it. But I'm certainly looking forward to this, and we'll do our part to make sure, because I think public comment is an important part of the session, and I think well organized and that the well-respected comment is useful to the commission, meaning well-respected from the commission to the public, allowing that comment. So I
So
second that.
we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? No. Okay, we have consideration and approval of
What was the
minutes.
vote?
4 to 1. It's 4 to 1. We have consideration and approval of minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of December 3rd, 2014 as is.
Second.
All All in favor?
Madam Chair, I was not at the meeting, so I wasn't participating, so I will abstain from the vote.
Madam Chair, same here, I will abstain.
All right, all in favor? Say aye. Aye. Opposed? 3-0, Carl. We have consent action. Is there a motion to?
Move to approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Was that a 4-0?
Yeah, no, I.
3-0.
I'm in the affirmative.
Okay, so it is a 5-0. Now we're on. We are on number 9, which is closed executive session. So,
We need a motion. Madam
we
Chair.
need a motion to go into closed executive session.
Madam Chair, I move we move into closed session and the roll call of the commissioners be called in the affirmative.
I'll
Madam
second.
Chair. Okay, go ahead, you second, okay, Madam Chair, is there, can we have some, just general matter that there's a necessary, closed session needed?
Madam Commissioner,
Missed that.
on the closed executive session, it states that it is a personnel matter.
Right, yes, Madam Chair, I'm aware of that, but normally, it's that we're told that there is a need for a personnel, closed session. A closed session for a personnel item.
Chief of Staff, was there was a reason for a personnel matter to be put on the agenda?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, yes, it's for a recommendation of mine on the existing staff.
Okay.
That's fine, Madam Chair, thank you.
Madam Chair, may I restate my motion so
Yes.
that it's appropriate? I move that we do go into closed executive session pursuant to NMSA 1978, section 10-15-1, point H, and 2, to discuss limited personnel matters only.
Okay.
And,
That covers it, right, Carl?
yes, that's correct. And it has a second.
Yes.
Okay. And Commissioner Lyons,
Vote no.
Commissioner Lovejoy,
Yes.
Commissioner Montoya,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza.
No.
3-2.
Okay. So we'll go into closed executive session.